Wasted Water Sports, ahoy. Welcome back to the Big Bash. Match number 2. You know, yesterday was a lot of fun. We saw the competition start with a fabulous game between the Scorchers and the Stars. The Scorchers too good, as we expected they would be. They are definitely the team to beat this season. But a team that will be right up there with them, I believe, the Sydney Sixers, with their first hit out tonight against the Renegades. And the poor old Melbourne Renegades, traditionally, they're the cellar dwellers of the competition, aren't they? Fingers crossed that they can put on a better display this year. I mean, they've got Josh Brown, I think, is the most notable inclusion to the team for this year's Big Bash. Big Josh Brown made a name for himself at the Brisbane Heat. A big hitting, tall opener who can get the innings off to a flyer. But of course, the balance between these big hitting openers, right? They go for runs quickly. They can also lose their wicket just as quickly. And you start on the back foot. But we'll see how it works out with Brown. It's a big loss for the Heat, especially when I was talking about my feelings of the Brisbane Heat being a bit weak in their batting lineup this season. So he's a big loss. A good pickup for the Renegades. Nicole Feeney, ahoy there. Welcome along. BBL 14. It was really a lot of fun last night. I enjoyed myself. That Scorchers and Stars game didn't have a team in the fight, so to speak. No dog in the fight, as they say. So I really didn't bother me who won. And it made it just an enjoyable little piece of viewing. So hopefully the same again tonight. The Sydney Sixers, I think, will be up there in the finals contention, along with the Perth Scorchers. So I'm anticipating that they win this and win quite comfortably, but we'll see. I was pleasantly surprised last night with the Stars had a couple of moments last night where they could have got themselves on top. Most notably was when Marcus Stoinis was leading the revival of the Stars' batting innings. And when he got himself run out, and he knew it as well, he knew it at the time, tossed his bat away in frustration as he got himself run out. And that really was one of the major turning points of the innings. The Stars failed to put on enough of a score. 11 minutes until this one gets underway. And the Sydney Sixers can launch their campaign. As I said, expecting the Sixers to be in the finals, if not the final, the grand final, whatever they call it in the Big Bash. Once again, I should know these things. I've gone all out with a same-game multi in this one. I've got the three, excuse me, I've got the three main ones on the screen. Josh Brown, I was a big fan of his when he was at the Brisbane Heat the past couple of seasons. A big hitter. I anticipate that he'll crack a 6. He'll probably let me down. I mean, geez, he let me down enough when he was playing for my team. So let's see if he lets me down now that he's playing for somebody else. Son of a bitch. Probably will. But anyways, I've got him to hit a 6. Josh Brown hit a 6. Moses Enriques to score 20-plus runs. And Josh Felipe, or Felipe, however you want to say it. I say Felipe because it sounds fancy. I've got him to get 10-plus runs. And I've also got a couple of wicket takers as well. Ben Dorshus and Sean Abbott to take a wicket somewhere along the line. The Sydney Sixers have won the toss and they've chosen to field. So that brings quite a few legs of my multi into play immediately. So we have a look at the Renegades lineup. Fraser McGurk and Josh Brown will open the batting. Very big potential there. They could explode. They've actually got a decent-looking team this year, the Melbourne Renegades. Fraser McGurk and Josh Brown opening. Tim Seyfarth is their... Tim Seyfarth is their international, one of their internationals. They've got Laurie Evans and Kassan Khan as well. And they've got Adam Zampa doing the bowling. But this is a strong-looking Sydney Sixers side, though. Look at that. Philippe, Vince, Hughes, Enriques, Jordan Silk, Sean Abbott leading the bowling attack with Ben Dorshus. Maybe a little weak in the bowling. Ben Dorshus, Todd Murphy, I've never heard of him. Sean Abbott, of course. Moses Enriques can do some bowling. So maybe, just maybe, an opportunity here for the Melbourne Renegades. Yeah, looking at that team lineup, I might have to reconsider this. I'll stick with my tip. Waste of Water Sports. Free tipping contest is available to come and join. I'll stick with my tip, the Sydney Sixers. Although I am a little bit concerned about their bowling. We'll see. Can the Renegades take advantage of what I perceive to be a rather weak bowling attack by the Sydney Sixers standards? They'll be heavily reliant on Sean Abbott. And they'll need some quick wickets, some early wickets from him. And Ben Dorshus can keep one end tight as well. And if he can chime in with a wicket or two himself, they'll start on the front foot. But yes, I probably should have done a little bit more research into the teams before I went conclusively calling or predicting a comfortable win for the Sixers. Oh, tell me about it, bro. Maybe he can just get a 6. Big Brisbane Heat fan here myself, and very disappointed to have found out that Josh Brown is on the move, especially to the Renegades. I mean, if a player moves on to a strong squad, and this is no offense to the Melbourne Renegades, but they're traditionally not a strong squad. If a player leaves for a strong squad, I kind of get it. Like, I would not fault anybody for wanting to make a move to the Perth Scorchers, for example. As a player, you want to win competitions, and I know I'm talking about the Brisbane Heat, who won last year. Yes! So maybe you would want to stay with a winning... Very concerned about the Brisbane Heat's batting lineup this year. I think the bowling is just fine. The batting is my concern, which is a complete flip on recent years. I've always gone, we're very comfortable with the batting when the batting clicks, which it didn't always click. And the bowling was always a little bit weak. I think the bowling, great bowling attack, but I'm very concerned about the depth of batting this year. But anyways, I do apologize. I am a Brisbane Heat supporter, as I said, so I feel like every conversation comes back to the Brisbane Heat. Justifiable tonight, though, because there is an ex-Heat man opening the batting for the Melbourne Renegades. I do have him in my same-game multi to hit a 6. So if he can hit a 6 on the first ball and then maybe get out on the second ball, that'd be cool. Nate B, 2011. Ahoy, mate. Welcome back. You were here yesterday, right? Or have I got you mistaken with another Nate? Nicole Feeney over on the YouTube. Waste of World of Sports, of course, for those who are new, which is probably most people for the Big Bash, because this is our first season covering the Big Bash. We cover the NRL, we cover the Rugby Union in full every season, live on YouTube, live on TikTok now, and live on Facebook. And we're also exploring some other options, some new social media platforms. Still very new to TikTok, so do sing out if I feel like the audio is all good on TikTok. But do let me know, TikTokers, if I'm too loud, too soft. I've got everything set up for YouTube, basically. YouTube is our primary platform. We are expanding, as I said, but YouTube, it's all set up to be perfect on YouTube, and everything rolls around that. So I do rely on people to share some feedback and let me know if things aren't as they should be on the other platforms. But welcome back, Nate. Anyway, looking forward to this game. I've got the Sydney Sixers, had the Sydney Sixers winning this quite comfortably. But then I saw the lineups, And the Sydney Sixers actually, in my opinion, do not have a really, really lethal bowling attack. Now that I've gone and said that, watch them go and bowl the Renegades out for under 100 here. Commentators curse and all that. But I think the Sixers bowling is a little bit suspect this season, just looking at the squad that they've put forward. That said, I do anticipate that they will get the win. And of course, yes, the internationals. This is my big problem with the Big Bash. Big problem with the Big Bash. The way that the international players, and obviously they can't, they're playing a test at the moment, but just the way that the international players filter back into the competition around finals time. How many times have we seen it where a team, with all their internationals included, are pretty much unbeatable, but they'll miss out on the finals because they don't get their internationals until very late in the competition? That's where the Perth Scorchers have always been very, very good. They build a squad without reliance on the international players. The international players are just a bonus. When Mitch Marsh comes back into the Perth Scorchers squad, for example, it's a bonus. It's not a necessity. I feel like the other teams latch on to these internationals. The Brisbane Heat as well. Again, I'm bringing the conversation back to the Brisbane Heat, but they've been notorious for a reliance on international players. But anyways, I digress. And we are getting ready for the start of this one. Hellfire, Paintball, Saltash, New South Wales, Australia. Ahoy, mate. Long time no see, I'm pretty sure. How are you doing over there? Players out on the ground. This, of course, free on Channel 7 here in Australia. All the coverage. We are simply here, the Waste of Water Sports, for a commentary alternative. Especially a Fox alternative. Because nobody wants to listen to David Warner. Aaron, 888. Ahoy there. It is the Sydney Sixers who have won the toss and they've elected to bowl. Let's see. Now, my prediction was... oh, wow, that's a really poor crowd, by the way. Pretty poor crowd. My prediction last night was pretty much on point. I said that the Scorchers would win by 6 wickets with 3 to 4 overs remaining. And I believe they won with 6 wickets and something like 2.4 overs remaining. D-Funk, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. And there he is, Big Josh Brown, the traitor. Boo! Hit a 6 first, though. Josh, a nice big 6 down the ground, and then you can get yourself out next ball. Ben Dorshus opening the bowling attack. I would have thought that they would go with Sean Abbott first and foremost. But who am I to know? Let's go. Ben Dorshus with the first ball. Josh Brown is down the non-strikers end. So Fraser McGurk to face the first delivery. Dorshus is outside off early and it's slapped away for 4. Now that is the start that they needed, the Renegades. And that's why Fraser McGurk is taking the first ball. I'm actually, D-Funk has gone Renegades tonight. And I've got to say, D-Funk, after I saw the squads, I'm kind of regretting my decision. Tip the Sydney Sixers. I thought the Sixers would win quite comfortably. I'm a little bit bothered by their bowling. Again, wide outside off stump from Dorshus, and Fraser McGurk resists the urge to have a swipe at that one. dream start for the Renegades. A boundary off the first ball. Once I saw the squads, I think a little suspect. The Sydney Sixers, a little suspect. Their bowling attack. Fraser McGurk doesn't quite get a hold of it as he turns it to the onside. Uppishly played. But they'll come back for a second. Six off the over so far. Right into the swinging arc there of Fraser. And it's another 2 runs. Well, Nate, on cricket.com.au, tipping.cricket.com.au, completely free to join the Wasted World of Sports Tipping League. And we can indeed go head-to-head in tipping. Dorcius in for his 4th delivery. It's right in the swinging arc again. And Fraser McGurk has gone after it. And it's another 4. Fraser McGurk has gone ballistic in this opening over. Didn't quite make the distance, but it bounces inside the rope. What a start this is. I'll grab the link in the break of this over, which is 1 ball remaining. Dorcius, down leg side, this will be a wide. Another ball remaining. Oh, it wasn't called a wide. Well, I'll be damned. All right. So, Wasted Water Sports. I can pin the link. Actually, I will share this, but I'll tell you as well as I'm typing it out. It is tipping.cricket.com.au. Tipping.cricket.com.au. And the code to join the Wasted World of Sports League is $5YM02WUZ. It's funny because when we do the NRL tipping, we usually get like 60 to 80 people. There are 5 at the moment in the Big Bash League. So, yes, we do need a few more people that are interested to join in there. And now Edwards is bowling, which is very interesting. They're holding Sean Abbott back. We'll get to see what Edwards is all about. As I said at the top of the stream, when we ran through the squads, I was unfamiliar with Edwards. So yes, tipping.cricket.com.au and the code to join. Completely free to join our Wasted Water Sports Big Bash Tipping League is shared in the message underneath it as Abbott in again. It's Edwards in again, out wide. And a big slash outside off stump from Fraser McGurk. Thomas, it's only just begun. 1.3 overs. Or 1.2. And it's Fraser McGurk doing all the damage at the moment. Drives it down the ground, and it is over the fence for 6. That is a huge hit. Fraser McGurk, well, I might have backed the wrong horse here in multiple ways. I had Josh Brown to hit a 6, and it's Fraser McGurk who's come through with the goods. Straight down the ground, about 5 rows back. Didn't even move. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was gone. None for 19. A great start here for the Renegades. And some nervous signs here for the Sixers. Down to the bowling. It's a very suspect-looking bowling lineup. I think the batting will be fine. The Renegades will probably want to put on 160, 170 at least. Because it's a very strong batting lineup that the Sixers possess. Last ball of the second over, Edwards in. And it's off the top edge. And it's racing down to the boundary. A great chase. Dorcius. A diving effort in the outfield to save 4, but they come back for a third. And that'll be another 10 runs off that over. None for 22. 2 overs gone. A dream start by Fraser McGurk, really. I mean, Josh Brown hasn't had to do anything. When you've got a batting partner up the other end that's seeing them like Fraser McGurk is at the moment, all you do is you tap it down and you take a single and you get off strike, don't you? You say, go for it, mate. You do all the heavy hitting, I'll just hang down here. But if Josh Brown decides to go, he'll go. Well saved in the outfield there from Dorcius. And here we go. Sean Abbott into the attack. This is where things could get shaken up. This will be the key, I think. Sean Abbott is the key for the Sydney Sixers bowling attack. And a slower ball has lured Fraser McGurk into a shot. He puts it up in the air, and it doesn't make it outside the circle. And just like that, his first delivery, Sean Abbott has made the difference. He has made the breakthrough, and Fraser McGurk goes for 21 off 11. The slower ball, he just hung it up there outside off, and it was too tempting. For a guy like Fraser McGurk, who loves to go out there and have a swing, it was just way too tempting. And he fell for the trap there, and Fraser McGurk on his way. Sean Abbott makes an immediate impact. One for 22. Well, that is hilarious. We were literally just talking about it, weren't we? Nate, thank you very much for joining the Big Bash tipping contest. I'm not entirely sure what happens with last night's game, but it's all right. If I've only got 1 or 2 games head start on everybody, I'll probably need it. Sean Abbott, his second delivery now to the freshman, Safart. One for 22. Abbott in again. And a slash outside off stump. A swing and a miss. Seifert. And this is a great start. Sean Abbott doing what we expected Sean Abbott to do. And he's keeping his end very, very tight. Sean Abbott to take 1+ wicket is ticked off. My multi. A fuller delivery this time. And Seifert pushes it over the top of the infield to the offside. They'll come back for a third run there. Well run again from the Renegades. Hey, Nate, are you on a mobile device or are you on desktop? Just out of curiosity. Mobile. Okay. Let me see if I can help you out here. Because I don't think I've ever looked at it on mobile before. Okay, so... Well, this game's already locked out. Because it's already started. But it should, theoretically, It should theoretically load immediately to your tipping, and there'll be little bullets. Yeah, there'll be little bullets to the left and right of the teams for the remainder of the games where you can select. This one will be locked out because it's already started. And, of course, last night's game's already happened. But if it hasn't taken you to the matches, as Josh Brown gets it in the swinging arc, puts it over the top for 6, and there is a tick off our multi. Our second tick off the multi because we had Sean Abbott for a wicket as well. Josh Brown, it was right in the arc, and he just lofts it over the long on boundary for an easy 6. All right, now the big son of a bitch, traitorous bastard can get out. So if it hasn't taken you to that tipping screen immediately, if you click the hamburger menu in the top left, the 3 bars in the top left, and the very first option in the menu is tips, and that will take you to the tipping screen. But it should be there immediately. And I can tell you that tomorrow I have gone for the Adelaide Strikers. But I might change my mind. Blake, ahoy, mate. Well, big Josh Brown, he's a traitor. Turned his back on the Brisbane Heat as Seifert cuts away, but can't beat the infield. One for 31 here. The Renegades, 3.1 overs gone. The run rate is nice and healthy, but they'll be disappointed with the Fraser McGurk wicket. But despite that, they ended up with a good over there off Sean Abbott. That one is cut away for 4. Seifert gets hold of that one. Just giving him a little bit too much width there, Edwards. Nate says, I'll tell you who I've tipped for tomorrow at the Thunder. I'm pretty sure that he said yesterday he's a Sydney Thunder fan, so that makes sense. It's big swing and a miss this time from Seifert. A slower ball from Edwards. Yeah, I think the Strikers are traditionally pretty strong. So it'll be a tough game. Honestly, it'll be a tough game for the Thunder to win. Taking a couple of steps down the pitch, attacking that one. Seifert gets it over the top, unconvincingly. But a boundary is a boundary, and they'll take it by any means. Nicole Payne, ahoy! How are you? D-Funk is officially in on the Big Bash Tipping League. Thanks, mate. Drifting onto leg side, and Seifert chops it away. Just a single. I'll tell you what I ate earlier, Nicole Payne. I ate bacon and eggs with some tomato on bread. I'm a big guy. I need a nice big bacony meal. Cut away by Josh Brown over the top of the infield for another boundary. What a start this is for the Renegades. 1 for 44 after 4 overs. Apart from the Fraser McGurk wicket, an absolute perfect start. They could not have asked for a better beginning. And the Renegades, it is exactly as we said at the top of the stream. Concerns around the Sydney Sixers bowling attack. And we've started well for the multi. A tick with Josh Brown hitting that 6. A tick with Sean Abbott taking a wicket, which hasn't updated yet for some reason. I'm a little bit concerned about that. It was Sean Abbott who took the wicket, right? Of Fraser McGurk. Josh Kerr into the bowling attack, and that is a perfect line and length to start. These are the overs now where they need to just stifle the run rate a little bit and slow the Renegades down. Look at Josh Brown, the big trader. Honestly, I'm so disappointed that the Brisbane Heat have lost him. Very disappointed. Seifert goes after this one. Can't find the gap in the outfield. And Davies taps it down. Saving a 4. Keeping them to just the 1 run. .38, the current run rate for the Renegades. Boy, it's been a good start for them. They'll be very, very happy with this. Big Josh Brown on strike. Outside off, he has a lunge at it. Gets enough to get it into the gap and over the infield, and it's 4. Wow. Josh Brown is just doing Josh Brown things here. Didn't even get hold of that, and it raced away to the boundary. One for 49. Kerr just drifting a little wide on that last ball. Needs to tighten it up, but it hangs it out wide again, and a similar result. 1 for 53. Josh Brown with back-to-back 4s. And this is really, really poor bowling from the Sixers. Alarm bells have got to be ringing. You can't judge a pitch until both teams have gone out there and batted. But this is very alarming. Kerr in again. Oh, it's a half volley. Brown down the ground. There's protection down there, so just the single. A fabulous start here for the Renegades. They are on top at the moment. Well and truly. Last ball of Kerr's first over. He's gone for 10 so far. Needs a dot ball. And he gets it. A slash from Seifert. And it's 1 for 54 after the first 5 overs. What a start from the Renegades. Now, we were talking at the top of the stream about the perceived weakness of the Sydney Sixers bowling attack. And it is certainly proving to be the case at the moment. This has not been a good start for them with the ball. But they've got a very, very good batting attack. So I think the Sixers would back themselves to chase down any target that's set. But they're on track for over 200 here, the Renegades. I mean, they really, really need to find a way to slow them down. The best way, of course, to do that is wickets. Davies into the attack. They've gone to spin for the first time. Josh Brown can't get hold of that. And just loops it down to long on for a single. Joel Davies, left arm orthodox. Maybe, just maybe, they should have thrown him in there a little earlier, perhaps. I don't know. The Renegades seem to have taken care of the pace bowlers quite easily as Seifert gives himself some room. Cuts Davies away for the single. Out to the square boundary. Brown just pushes this away to long off for one more. Nate reckons that Todd Murphy should bowl. Whoever bowls, a wicket is becoming critical. Reverse sweep, top edged. Will it go over the infield? It does. Seifert. A risky play. We saw that last night when Rogers, I believe it was, pulled out the unnecessary reverse sweep and got himself out. Seifert's got away with that one. And he comes back for a second. A more traditional shot this time. Pushing it down to long off for another one. Oh, Brown, yeah, Josh Brown's doing so good. As I anticipated he probably would. He is honestly such a big loss for the Brisbane Heat. And there he is, backing away, giving himself a room. And the commentator's curse strikes because he has put it straight down the throat of Jordan Silk. And the big treacherous bastard is on his way. Davies with the wicket. And Josh Brown has picked out the fielder. He also hit a 6, which is all that I needed him to do. And that is a huge, huge wicket. Brown's on his way. 22 of 10 deliveries. A solid contribution, but he'll be disappointed. And that's what he was capable of doing for the Brisbane Heat as well. He would just lose patience or composure or whatever it is and throw his wicket away. It was an unnecessary risk. And reward For the Sydney Sixers, Mackenzie Harvey will come out to bat now for the Renegades. Yeah, it's suddenly become very delicately poised now because the Sixers appear to have a weakness in their bowling lineup, apart from a couple of obvious big names. One here, Ben Dorshus, has come straight back into the attack here at the fall of that wicket. Renegades are definitely still on top, yes. A run rate of 10 with 6 overs gone. They're still well and truly on top. That was a big wicket, though. Big wicket of Josh Brown. We're starting to get into a little bit of unknown territory now for the Melbourne Renegades. So where the Sydney Sixers are a little bit weak in their bowling, but very strong in their batting, the Renegades look a little suspect now that they've got rid of Fraser McGurk, they've got rid of big Josh Brown, and there are some unknowns for the rest of the batting lineup. The real thing. Ahoy there, mate. Appreciate the coverage very much, says the real thing. Cheers. I'll drink to that. I'll also very quickly take a snapshot of that for my compliment wall. Balled away to the boundary. No. Well saved. Sliding across the outfield. They can cut off the boundaries here, Nate. Traditional outside of the power play stuff. Limit the boundaries. Keep the batsmen down to ones and... Oh, well. Just as I say that, Harvey clips it off the legs. 2 bounces and over the rope for 4. Ben Dorshus just drifting too far down the leg side there. And that's easy pickings. Just whipping it off the pads. An easy 4. That's better delivery from Dorshus. Outside edge, though, goes over the top. And it's racing over this outfield for 4. That's incredible. That ball appeared to pick up speed. It was a pure outside edge. A much better delivery this time from Dorshus. And this has just raced away over the outfield. It really was a poor effort. In all honesty, the big fella there in the outfield didn't put his body on the line. You know what? He was probably watching last night. That's what happened. It was a really, I would define it as a lazy effort by the outfielder there. But in fairness, he was probably watching poor Hilton Cartwright last night and went, I'm not going to do that. For those that might have missed it, Hilton Cartwright went for a diving save in the outfield. And he went diving out with his left arm outstretched. Boom, straight down. Had to get stretchered off the field in a neck brace. Was really, really concerning scenes. All right, here comes Todd Murphy. Nate was calling for him. And here he comes, Todd Murphy into the bowling attack. And he is cut away for 4 off the first delivery. And this is not a good start for Daniel Vettori Jr. Two for 75 here. The Renegades dominating this contest. Reverse sweep, unnecessary, and it's just short of the fielder. Well, why do they keep doing it? The reverse sweep, it looks flashy, but it is such a high-risk, low-reward shot. Seifert's nearly got himself out there. Backs away for a more traditional slog this time. And just a single. I don't understand why they do it. I mean, nothing beats a traditional cricket shot. How many times do we see batsmen get themselves out from a reverse sweep? Unless you're Glenn Maxwell. Murphy switches sides to bowl to the left-hander, and Harvey just cuts him away for a single. 6 off the over so far. Two balls left in this over. Drifts onto the legs, gets away with it. It's got lots of cover on that leg side, though, in the outfield. Lots of protection back there. And Mackenzie Harvey slips as he goes for the run. And a dot ball to end. So, a poor first ball, but Murphy recovered for the rest of that over. 7 runs from it. Good start for Murphy. 2 for 76, or 70, 2 for 78. Sorry, 2 for 78. The Renegades. Sydney Sixers won the toss and elected to bowl, which was probably the right decision. I've said it a few times throughout the course of the stream. The Sixers, probably their strength will be, well, their strength is definitely in their batting. Their bowling, apart from Abbott and Dorcius, a little unknown. Todd Murphy has started very well, and now they've gone straight back to Sean Abbott. He got a wicket with his first ball in his first over, and they've brought him back in as Seifert just paddles this one down the leg side. Well fielded in the outfield. They'll come back for 2. Give me traditional cricket shots any day of the week. Telling you. It looks fancy, all these ramp shots and reverse sweeps. But give me a nice traditional straight drive. Seifert, 26 off 20. Walks down the pitch to this one. And just a single into the gap on the offside. Now, I think I need Ben Dorcius to take a wicket as well. Yes, I do. Okay. I need Ben Dorcius to get a wicket for my same game multi. The other legs, which are on the screen, that won't be until the Sydney Sixers come into bat. Surely Dorcius will get a wicket at the death. Edged! Caught! That's another big breakthrough. Sean Abbott has done the job again. And Harvey's on his way. Well, we talked about it, didn't we? We talked about it at the top of the stream. Sean Abbott will be the key in a relatively weak, comparatively to recent years, a relatively weak bowling attack. Sean Abbott is going to have to do the heavy lifting, and he is doing it perfectly at the moment. A clean outside edge from Harvey. And Josh Philippe makes no mistake behind the stumps. The third wicket falls. 81 runs on the board, though. It's still advantage Renegades, I believe. But another couple of quick wickets and anything can happen. We've seen T20 games turn in an instant. Happens all the time. One more wicket, says Nate. One more wicket, and it's even Stevens. Laurie Evans. Oh, dead ball. Wonder what's going on there. Something's happening in the outfield. Don't tell me Javo's trying to get on the field again. Javo, of course, interrupting the test between India and Australia. Abbott, slow, full delivery, just fended away from Evans. Doesn't want to take him on. The run rate's dropped below 10 for the first time that I can remember. The Renegades really did start that red hot. It's been over 10 this whole time until now as it drops down to 9.3. And another dot ball here from Abbott. This is good bowling. 2 for 12 off 1.5. Good Lord, Ricky Ponting looks so bored. Poor punter. He looks like that's absolute torture for him to be there. Abbott with his last delivery, and it's almost chopped on here. And Evans stops it with his foot. Abbott very nearly picks up another one there on his last delivery of the second over. Well, I'll tell you what, punter, if it's so painful for you to be there, I'll take your paycheck and the gig. Oh, hello. Hi. How are you? Are you enjoying the game so far? What would you say? Who's got the advantage? You reckon the Renegades are slightly on top at this stage? Yes, I agree with that. The Renegades. Another wicket. And the Sixers are well and truly back into it. Very disappointing turnout, I've got to say. When we compare it to last night's game, which had quite a decent crowd. Davies, 1 from 6. Monday night, yes, that's true. I forget that it's Monday night. See, I don't work anymore. This is what I do for a living. I stream sports on YouTube. NRL, rugby, cricket, wrestling, UFC. This is what I do for a living. I don't work anymore. I forget that it's Monday. Well, when I say I don't work anymore, this is obviously still a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. I'm just taking the piss out of myself. Davies drifts onto the legs, gets away with it. Evans could have put that away. If there was a set batsman, let's just say a Josh Brown, who hadn't thrown his wicket away, that's probably getting put away for 6. Stepping back and giving himself some space to just punch it through the offside gap. Well, yeah, I was just saying, Nate, Ricky Ponting, if you see a shot of Ricky Ponting in the commentary box, he really looks like he's maybe he's sick. Maybe there is legitimately something wrong with him. So I shouldn't be too harsh. But yeah, he looks like he does not want to be there. And if you look like you don't want to be there, that projects. that projects to the viewers. That's the thing. And so that's what I was saying just before. Like, punter, if you don't want to be there, mate. I mean, I can only imagine what they're paying him. I'll take a piece of that. Good Lord, can you imagine me on television? I don't think mainstream television could handle me. It would be funny, though. It'd be a good laugh. I would certainly enjoy myself. Three for 85 here, the Renegades, anyway. 3 for 85, halfway through their innings. And despite the 3 wickets falling, they've got themselves off to the best possible start. They've really set themselves up for a good finish to this batting innings. It is up to the Sixers. Excuse me. It is up to the Sixers to make some breakthroughs. And Sean Abbott seems the most likely at the moment, but I would love, for the benefit of my same-game multi, which is ridiculous, by the way. I've got the most ridiculous same-game multi on at Sportsbet. Let me just bring it up. Okay, so I've got Moses Enriques to score 20 runs. Josh Brown to hit a 6, which has already happened. Josh Philippe to score 10 runs. Sydney Sixers to win, which may be the one that lets me down. Ben Dorshus to take a wicket. Sean Abbott to take a wicket, which has happened. So from this innings, from this Sydney Sixers bowling and Renegades batting, I just need Ben Dorshus to take a wicket. And then I'm looking good, I reckon. I think I'm looking good for the rest of it. Edwards back into the attack. 2 overs, none for 23. We've talked about Sean Abbott, and obviously Sean Abbott is key to the bowling, but this could be the over. If Edwards keeps this tight and can even get the bonus of a wicket, as Evans backs away, looks to ramp it over the top of the keeper, misses it completely, and it's a dot ball to start. Yeah, so if Edwards can pull this back and just give away maybe 3 or 4 runs, but the Renegades, they might have this pinpointed as an over to target. Drifting onto the legs, and a swing and a miss from Evans. Well, it's a good start here for Edwards. 2 dot balls. Three for 85. Seifert's the key, you feel, for the Renegades batting. If they are to go on and make a big score, Seifert's got to stay out there. Evans goes after it, puts it straight down the throat of mid-off. And Evans, who has struggled, is on his way. 1 run off 8 deliveries. And Edwards with 2 dot balls and then the wicket. That's huge. I reckon, quite honestly, advantage Sixers now. They've got themselves back into this contest. And maybe, just maybe, slightly ahead right now. .3 overs gone. 4 for 85. Beautifully bowled from Edwards after a poor start in his opening 2 overs. And it's certainly looking accurate that this could be the key over. Beautifully bowled there from Edwards. Big wicket. So who comes out now for the Renegades? Let me jump over and... Oh, it's Hassan Khan. Hassan Khan. Hassan Khan's out there. And he's off the mark immediately. Well, I mean, sometimes it's just better if you're struggling in a T20 to make contact with the ball. You may as well just go for a big hit and get yourself out. Because poor Laurie Evans, all he was doing was just stagnating things for the Renegades. So sometimes it can be a little blessing in disguise for the wicket. This one's just tapped down for a quick single. A leg by. Didn't even make contact with it. So Seifert is the key. 29 of 26. And Punter looks a little bit happier now. He must have heard me. They've got TikTok or YouTube open up there in the commentary box, and they heard me say that he looks pained to be there. Edwards with his last delivery. And it's just guided down to third man for the single. Four for 87. 11 overs gone. The Sixers have got themselves back on top here. Some key wickets at some key times. And the Renegades just have to go through a little bit of a consolidation process now. They were travelling at over 10 and over for the opening 8 or so. Yeah, probably about 8 overs or so. It's really pulled back. 11 overs gone. The run rate's dropped to 8. And here comes Dorcius. Ben Dorcius in for his third over. All right, this could be key as the power surge is called. We need Ben Dorcius for a wicket. And the power surge has been activated here. Dorcius, none for 23 off 2 overs so far. Hassan takes a couple of steps down the pitch, attacks the ball, and cuts it away for 4. Beats the infield. And that's a good start to the power surge. Four for 88. It was nearly caught. It would have been a miraculous effort to take the catch, but it was very nearly caught. Dorcius in again. Shorter delivery, top-edged, and here's the wicket for Dorcius. Straight to mid-on, and Sean Abbott takes the catch. Dorcius gets the wicket. We have got another tick off the multi, and the Sydney Sixers are well on top now. They are well and truly on top. Hassan Khan's on his way. A tick off the multi. We've got the wicket takers. All right, so now I just need Sydney Sixers to win, Josh Philippe to get 10 runs, and Moses Enriques for 20 runs. Now, the problem with the multi that's going to present itself now is Moses Enriques, I'm pretty sure, depending on how the Sydney Sixers decide to approach this, Enriques is not going to come in until lower in the order. The Renegades could be bundled out here for about 120 odd. There's no guarantee that Enriques is going to have enough time to get the 20 runs. But anyway, we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure Enriques comes in at maybe fourth or fifth drop. He might not have a chance to get the 20 runs. But anyway, we'll see. Michelle, ahoy. That's way too far outside off stump. And a gift for Sutherland. Cuts it away for 4. Far too wide outside off there from Dorcius. And Will Sutherland, that's a good start for him. 4, wicket 4. And he nearly chops it on here, Sutherland. And a dot ball for Dorcius. A crucial one at that. So those first 3 deliveries of the power surge for Dorcius. 4, wicket 4. Five for 96 here. The Melbourne Renegades started so well. Dorcius with 2 balls left. Slower delivery. Pulled away square just for a single. I've just figured out Ricky Ponting looks like he's in pain. And I've figured it out. It's every time that Aaron Finch talks. When Aaron Finch is not talking, punter looks happy. When Aaron Finch is talking, punter looks like he's in serious pain. Seifert, just a gentle little pull down the onside. XJC, ahoy mate. By the way, XJC, please just call me Dan. Let's not give in to UFC's wishes. Nicole Payne, you are at the game. All right. So you're one of those 10 people that are there. Nice. Oh, once again, as we said, it is a Monday night. So the crowd is probably not actually... The crowd's probably actually not that bad, all things considering. XJC asks, are you going to stream Panthers vs Sharks in March? Most likely, XJC, but, I mean, in all honesty, March is a long way away. I don't even know necessarily what I'll be doing tomorrow, let alone March. But, more than likely, pushed into the offside for 4 from Sutherland. Well, he's in good form. Seifert, 31 off 27, can just control the innings at the other end. And Sutherland can do the big hitting. They're still on for a score here, the Renegades, which will be good for my bet now. Now that I've got the wicket takers, I kind of need my my For my multi, I need the Renegades to get at least a decent score here so that Enriques gets a chance to bat. Oh, cheers, Nate. Yes, I can see that our YouTube subs have gone up by 1. Oh, XJC, check out on the channel, Wasted World of Sports channel on YouTube. Check out the League Lounge. Right into the swinging arc, and Seifert says, thank you very much. And he has just pulled this away for 6. A monstrous hit. It was right in the arc. For maximum power, that was an absolute gift. And that was against Sean Abbott too. Has this been caught by Vince? They're going to have a look at it. Or was it a bump ball? I thought it was a bump ball. I thought, seeing it happen live, I thought this was a bump ball. If it's gone to hand, it's a fantastic catch. We are going to have a look just to rule out any mishaps here. But it seemed like a pretty clear-cut bump ball. Anyway, XJC, as I was saying, check out on the channel The League Lounge. I went on an absolute rant about Daniel Atkinson. Boy, did I go on a rant. Wasted World of Sports, League Lounge, new podcast. I can actually maybe give you a timestamp as well. Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I saw it pop up. Ah, yeah, okay. Around about the 50-minute mark. Around about the 50-minute mark, XJC. On the Wasted Water Sports League Lounge, I go on an epic Atkinson rant. And can't believe that the Sharks have let him go. Not out as we expected here, this one. Not out. And a full delivery is punched over. Punched over the onside. Before Seifert has decided it's time to go. Beautifully played from Seifert. He's the key to the innings now. Nice in-swinging ball there. And a dot ball to finish for Sean Abbott. Nate says, I feel bad for Sean. Sean Abbott, obviously this is not a topic that I will dwell on, but I do always wonder, like Sean Abbott. Sean Abbott, even though he shouldn't, because it was a freak accident, but I do often wonder, like, Sean Abbott, it'd be a lot to cope with, and he seems to have done well for himself, moving on from the whole Hughes incident. But boy, it must be tough. It'd just always be in the back of your mind, wouldn't it? So Yes. Sutherland just chops this off the legs for a single. KFC is a sponsor of the BBL. Michelle, oh, that was hilarious last night. All I can see now is the KFC sponsorship. It's literally everywhere. And I've never really noticed before. It's so funny. Davies back into the attack. A single and a dot ball. Haven't heard any updates on Hilton Cartwright. But we did see, before you popped in, there was a really lazy effort in the outfield. The fielder right in the boundary ran across, and he didn't dive. He just sort of lackadaisically threw his arm out. And we called it out for being lazy at the time that it happened. But I suspect that he was probably watching last night and saw what happened and went, you know what? I'm just not going to dive. I'm not going to take that risk. Singles only off this over so far. One delivery left for Davies in his third over. Sutherland beats the infield unconvincingly, but they'll take it. They should come back comfortably for two at the very least here. 6 runs off the over. Oh, speak of the devil. Hilton Cartwright has been cleared of serious neck injury. You know what? Sometimes things just perfectly present themselves. Amazing. Defunk says if they spent half as much on advertising, we would probably be able to afford KFC. Well, I was talking about it last night, about how my budget lunch used to be the KFC Zinger box. That was my budget go-to lunch back in the day. And I'm pretty sure it was like $10, maybe $12 if you upsized to a large chips and drink, which I did because I'm a big boy. But now I'm pretty sure it's like $17 or $18 now, if I'm not mistaken. Good Lord, I really need these crypto investments to work out so that I can buy myself some KFC. Yeah, you've just got to give it time, XJC. You never know when the need will arise. One never knows. I'll tell you what I am going to need, XJC. When I finally relaunch my gaming channel in Toxigamer in 2025, I'm anticipating that all my previous mods are probably not going to be there. So I'm definitely going to need a moderation crew for my gaming channel when that starts in January. Fingers crossed that I actually get off my ass and do it. Five for 125 here. 14.3 overs gone. It's been a while since the last boundary. Swing and a miss from Sutherland. Riley Dufour. Who do I reckon will win from here? Who do I reckon will win from here? I would have to say that the Sixers batting lineup is stronger, so they would be on top. Anything under 170. Like, you got to remember, the Renegades were on target here for a 200-plus score. At one point, 6 or 7 overs in, which is early in an innings to start predicting things. But they were on track for a 200-plus score at one point there. Anything under 170, I think the Sixers chase it down quite comfortably. Last ball of Kerr's second over. A reverse sweep. Almost picks out the fielder. Why do they do it? Honestly. Every single reverse sweep tonight has almost led to a wicket. I just don't understand why they do it. Not everybody can be just because Glenn Maxwell can magically do it every single time doesn't mean everybody else should try it. I think it is absolutely crazy, the amount of attempted reverse sweeps that we see. DJ Shaq, ahoy, mate. What games do I plan on playing? Well, when I was doing the channel before Wasted World of Sports, very, very heavy horror lineup. Big fan of horror games, especially zombie-related horror games. So yeah, I love my Resident Evil type of stuff. Resident Evil, Dead Island, Dead Rising. Dead Space. You're noticing a theme here, right? Games that have story that I can bounce off is traditionally what I played back in the Intoxigama days. As Murphy comes back into the bowling attack, none for 7 off his only over so far, and he is immediately on target with a dot ball. And the Renegades with 5 overs left. Todd Murphy looks like he's into gaming. What? Just because one's got glasses doesn't immediately make them into gaming. That's a little bit harsh there on young Daniel Vettori Jr. Seifert tries to hoik this down the ground, and he does. One bounce and over the boundary, and a boundary at long last. When was the last time they got a boundary? That's a critical 4. Nate says, can I be co-commentator? Well, I'll tell you what, Nate. On YouTube, there is channel memberships that start from, I think it's quite literally, I think it is quite literally $1 a month. But there are higher tiers that one can join, and you do get to come on and co-host a stream with me. So that is actually an option for something that can happen. Six runs off the over so far from Murphy. Sutherland looking for 2. Well run there from the Renegades. This is an important partnership, this one. Seifert and Sutherland. Defunct says it only costs me $1 New Zealand a month. There you go. I was correct. Last ball for Murphy. Dot ball. Fields his own bowling. And it's 5 for 134 at the end of 16. For the Melbourne Renegades. So, we were talking last night about just having something to bowl at. And the Renegades will, at the very least, have something to bowl at. I think they'll be disappointed that their innings fell away a little bit. They've still got 4 overs left, of course. They could still get themselves up to that 170. 10 and over from here gets them up to 174. So they could still have a really, really ultra competitive score. But at the very least, they've already got themselves something to bowl at. Dorcius, a little full, and it's cut away to the offside. Just a single, but he brings up his 50. Seifert, well played. 50 of 39 deliveries. He has been crucial to the Renegades putting on a score here. These two batsmen that are now set, this is the key. 43 of 29, their partnership. Dorcius was just a little too full. Now he's a little too short, and he gets away with it. They go for a quick single. He hits a direct hit, but a diving effort from Seifert. He should be safe. He seems very comfortable. It was his call. That run was all his call. Tim Seifert, the Kiwi international, doing the heavy lifting here for the Melbourne Renegades. Direct hit from Murphy, and he's well and truly home. Seifert, oh, it wasn't even close. Still a fantastic effort in the field. I guess you could say it was marvelous. Marvelous fielding. Dorcius wide and outside off. Chopped away for 4. It was too wide. Dorcius has just completely lost his line here. Never mind the length. Dorcius needs to tighten. Again, wide, outside off. Gets away with that one. That could easily have been another 4. Oh, he's hurt himself here in the field. Who's that? Hughes. Yeah, that looks like it hurt. Well, we are seeing some injuries, aren't we? I think he's all right. Oh, no, he's leaving the field. We have seen another injury. Well, at least he's not getting carted off in a neck brace. Have we seen the end of diving saves in Big Bash cricket? 2 injuries in 2 nights from diving efforts. Don't tell me that kid in the crowd was seriously searching for an autograph. It was this kid, I'm pretty sure he was just lurking. He had one of those mini souvenir bats. And it's like, do not tell me that he is going to go autograph hunting a player leaving the field with an arm injury. Like, how am I going to sign this kid? With my piss? I will urinate on your bat since I can't sign. Edged and out. Seifert's gone at last. Dorcius gets the breakthrough. And that is a critical breakthrough at the back end of this innings for the Sixers. A slower delivery drew him into the shot and edges through to Josh Philippe for the easy catch. It's 6 for 142. 3 overs remaining. They can still get themselves up to 170 here with some solid batting. I would say that at the moment, though, both teams would be satisfied. I don't think either side, right now as it stands, I don't think either side will be particularly... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think either side will be ecstatic with how things are traveling at the moment. But I think they'll both be happy at the moment. As Fergus O'Neill will be at the non-strikers end. Sutherland, the set batsman, has got strike here, which is key. Davies just takes the single. All right, so O'Neill is exposed. Yeah, I think it's very delicately poised at the moment, D-Funk. I can't think of... Sometimes I struggle to think of words. I mean, that's what years and years of... That's what decades of alcohol abuse does to your brain. But sometimes I just struggle to think of the right words. But yeah, it's delicately poised at the moment. Mookie, ahoy, mate. Outside off stump, too much room. And Sutherland punishes that poor bowling. Picks the gap. Davies tightens it up. Sutherland steps away to try and give himself some room. Can't find the gap this time. I think anything under 170 and the Sixers will be quite satisfied after the start that the Renegades got off to. As I said earlier, the Renegades looked like they were on target for around 200. I mean, they were just motoring along. 200 was not off the cards. So I think anything under 170, the Renegades will be very disappointed. And the Sixers will feel, I think, with the stronger batting lineup, will feel like they can get the job done. $18 overs gone, 6 for 151. $170 is still on for the Renegades, which will be a very, very good score. Very, very delicately poised match. Let me just have a look at the lineups, see if I can. Oh, yeah, I'll jump over here and see the lineups. What does the bowling lineup look like for the Renegades? Let's see. Renegades will have... Well, they've got Adam Zampa. Adam Zampa is honestly and I'm assuming, and I probably shouldn't even say this. I'm assuming Hassan Khan will be bowling some spinners. And that is so just horribly stereotypical. I shouldn't have even said it. But Adam Zampa is really the only name that leaps out in that Renegades lineup that I know is an ace bowler. Yeah, delicately poised, I reckon. Renegades come back for two. 18.2 overs gone. Abbott is bowling his last. They've been going at 7.8 and over for the last 30 balls. So if they do that for the remaining two, let's round it up and say 8 and over, they should end up very close to that 170. Which they'll surely be targeting now. Full ball, O'Neill gets it away. Down to long on for a single. Do they come back for two? No, they don't. Just the one. Actually, I know where I can have a look. At the Melbourne Renegades website. Because their player photos, the batsmen are holding a bat, and the bowlers are holding, you guessed it, a ball. Oh, no, they're not. Okay. The Renegades do not have not gone to those lengths like some of the other teams have. Not to worry. Ball delivery's gone. In Sean Abbott's last over, 4 runs from it. 6 for 155 here, the Renegades. They'll be targeting at least 170, or probably realistically targeting 170 now. When 200 plus looked like it was on at one point for them. And that's very wide outside off stump. Very wide. That might be the biggest wide I've ever seen in my life. It didn't even land on the pitch. That was a really poor delivery from Abbott. He was trying to follow. Well, the batsman was marching over to the offside, and Abbott was trying to follow him, and it's landed off the pitch. The ball has landed off the pitch. And this is going to be a no ball. And a free hit. Well, if the Renegades can get hold of this free hit, what a gift this is for them. Sean Abbott, he tried to follow the batsman a little too much there. He should have just fired it into the stumps is what he should have done. Rather than trying to follow the batsman, just fire it into the stumps. But, I mean, that's easy for me to say standing here. A free hit. He goes out wide again. And a swing and a miss from Sutherland, who just looks at the umpires like a little bit wide, right? And a dot ball off the free hit. No damage done. Last delivery for Abbott Spell. It's a half volley that's just chipped over the top of the infield. They'll come back for a second. 1 over left in the inning, 6 for 158. This is going to be a fun run chase, I reckon. All right, so with 1 over to go, let's just revisit my multi here and see how things are looking. So, Sean Abbott to take a wicket. Check. Ben Dorshus to take a wicket. Check. Sydney Sixers to win. Still up in the air. Josh Brown to hit a 6. Check. Moses Enriques to score 20 runs. Josh Philippe to score 10 runs. Let's go. It's a chance. It's a very bloody good chance at the moment. That multi is looking mint. So it is Kerr to bowl the final over. 2 overs done for 16. Half volley. Punched away over the top of the offside, and it's a boundary to start. Just a half volley outside off stump. I mean, that's just batting practice. 4 runs to start. 170 is on. 170 is what they'll be targeting. Bowled him! Well, what a reply from Kerr. Clean bowled him. O'Neill tries to shift over too far to the offside. And he was looking to glance it away. And he's missed it completely. Well bowled from Kerr. Clean bowled. And I think we've got a real stalemate scenario here. 7 for 162. The Renegades have got their score up around that 170 mark. I'm still backing the Sydney Sixers batting lineup here, to be honest. Defunct says that flash score is usually really good for lineups, but looks like the BBL has the live scorecard on their app. Probably have to pay. Oh yeah, you know what? The Big Bash website is utterly useless. The entire website just drives you to the app, literally forces you to their app. A French cut down to the boundary for 4 for Rogers. Well, that is a very unlucky boundary to give away there for the bowler. Inside edge, past the keeper. The old French cut in full effect. Do they still call it that? You're probably not allowed to call it a French cut anymore. The non-country descript cut. Past the keeper. Kerr, full, outside off. And Fields off his own bowling. A dot ball, a crucial dot ball. Yeah, I'm on cricket.com.au match center at the moment. I've got the chat room open on this screen, and I've got the cricket.com.au match center over on that screen. You know what? Actually, I'll tell you the one to probably look at that I probably should be looking at. Cricket.com. Hang on. Crickinfo.com. Crickinfo.com. That's the one that I should have open. Now, this is a cricket fan's wet dream. This website. ESPNcricinfo.com. Now, this has got everything that I could possibly need all in one place. So that's the one I probably should have open. One delivery left in the Melbourne Renegades batting innings. Can they get to that 170? It's full and online, and it will just be a single. Will they come back for the second? They do. They do come back for the second. 7 for 169. The Renegades, well, it's right about where it needed to be, I reckon. They were on target for 200 at one point there, so they'll be disappointed that the Sixers managed to pull it back a little bit, but it also at one point looked like they might struggle to get to 130 or 140, so 169 is a fantastic score, and it's going to be a difficult run chase for the Sixers, but I'm backing them in. I think their superior batting lineup will get them home. Josh Philippe, Moses Enriques, just to name a couple. I need them for my multi, of course. So we'll see. Wasted Water Sports, the run chase will be coming up. Big Bash match number 2. Can the Sydney Sixers chase this one down? We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the run chase. Catch you then. All right, West of World of Sports, welcome back. The innings break. The Melbourne Renegades have set 169. Can the Sydney Sixers chase it down? I am backing their batting lineup to get them through. The very solid-looking batting lineup, in all honesty. And I think they'll get the job done. It's going to take a solid effort, though. Needless to say, a solid effort will be required. A very good effort. The Renegades, they'll be happy enough with that. It did look like they were on track for a 200-plus scoreline. At one point there, they were just rolling along. They were on absolute fire. 200, of course, is a very ambitious total in a T20. But they were on track for it, so this delicately poised game at the moment is basically what I'm suggesting. Delicately poised because the Renegades didn't quite live up to that huge target that they were on track for, but they still set a very big target. Back in the Sixers, though, to get the job done. I need Josh Philippe and Moses Enriques to come through with the goods as far as scoring runs goes. We'll see if they can pull it off. Very much hoping so. Tim Seifert, welcome to the BBL. The Kiwi International 55 of 42 deliveries was really the foundation of the Renegades innings. Fraser McGurk started well. Josh Brown contributed. But really the innings was built around Seifert. Seven for 169. Waste of World of Sports tipping contest, of course. We got a couple of new entries here tonight, which is fantastic. I'm not as confident in the Big Bash tipping as I was in the NRL, but we'll see. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of us now. 8 of us over there now, which is fantastic. I mean, considering, in all honesty, considering this is the first time that we've covered the Big Bash potentially in full. I've done the odd game or two in the past, but this is the first season of BBL that I've really made a commitment from game one to cover all, well, not all of it. There's no possible way I can do all of it. I mean, I've got a birthday thing to go to on Saturday. So there's no plausible way I can do every single game, but it's going to be the most coverage we've done here on the Waste of Water Sports of the BBL competition rather than just the odd game or two here and there. Basically what I was trying to say. Yes, there's anger over the sentence handed to Broncos star Ezra Mam. What sentence? Essentially, what? Anyway. I'll be talking all about that on the League Lounge this weekend. Oh, my God. You could not even define what he got as a slap on the wrist. Unbelievable. But anyway, cricket stream, Big Bash. I'll contain myself. I'll save my venting for the Waste of Water Sports League Lounge coming up this weekend. As I said, I've got a birthday thing on Saturday night, so the League Lounge this weekend will probably be Friday night. But yes, I should imagine that will be a majority of the discussion points this coming weekend. Unbelievable. We've got to do our never forget the League Lounge, Michelle. We have got to do at some point before Christmas, Lord only knows when, we've got to do the channel members only stream. We could do that. Let's do that Sunday, Arvo. If you're free Sunday, Arvo, let's lock it in. Channel members only stream Sunday, Arvo. I was saying it the other night, last night on stream, I was talking to D-Funk. I know, that's why we've got to do it quick smart. We've got to get chop onto this thing. I was talking to D-Funk on the stream last night. As D-Funk is a channel member, you can see the badge next to his name there in the chat room. And I did say we've really got to get moving with some of this members only content. I realize it's not like we're charging ridiculous amounts of money for channel membership or anything, but still, I feel like I've been very slack in 2024 with providing members only content. Very slack. Because I don't think there's been a single one. But yes, I reckon we should do that. If you're free Sunday, Arvo, we should lock it in. Because, we really do need to do that. We really do need to do something for the channel members just to say thank you. Doesn't have to be a huge thing. Like, we don't need to do a Lord of the Rings type marathon out of it. Just an hour or so of talking random bollocks, just exclusively for the channel members. Doesn't even matter if they're able to make it live or not. It'll be something for them to enjoy in their own time after the fact. But anyway, it is time for the run chase. Yes, this game is on a knife's edge. I'm excited for this run chase. First delivery. Slashing at it outside off stump. Puts it into the gap. They'll come back for a second. Or will they hold for one? It looks like they held for one. A good start. Confident. A confident swipe outside off there from Josh Philippe. So I need him for 10. He's got 1 so far. 9 more to go, Philippe. Vince on strike. Uppishly played, but it gets through the gap, and that'll be 4. 4 for Vince. Nicely played. Five runs off the opening two balls. Again, it's outside off. Lashes at this one, Vince. It's off the top edge and races away to the boundary. None for 9 off 3 deliveries. This is the start that they needed, the Sixers. This is all I need now. All I need for this multi is Philippe for 10 and Enriquez for 20. Vince just guides this to the offside for 1. They might push a second. No, they just hold for 1. Yeah, so Enriquez usually comes in around 3rd or 4th drop. All right, come on, Philippe. We just need him to get to 10. That should be easy, right? Two balls left in this opening over. Picks out the fielder, no runs. None for 10, though. Solid start here for the Sixers. Just like the Renegades got off to a very solid start. O'Neill with his last delivery. Oh, Felipe was in 2 minds. He was setting up for the ramp. Ended up going for a late cut and missing it completely. And it's none for 10 after the first over. The Sixers starting the run chase exactly as they need to do. 8.28 is the required rate. 160 runs needed off 116 deliveries. So they've started well. Elbow injury for Daniel Hughes. So there we go. They'll be down a batsman. They will be down a batsman. Rogers is pulled away for 4. Well, Vince has started very well. I should have had Vince for my 10-plus runs. None for 14, 1.1. This is a solid start to the run chase for the Sixers. Gloriously pulled away there. Now that was a good pull. Vince, 13 runs off 4 deliveries. Drifting onto the legs. Can't beat the fielder. Oh, he'll be kicking himself there. Zampa saves the day. But Vince, he's let them get away with that one. Felipe back on strike. Come on, mate. Just 9 more runs. Keep the dream alive, huh? Slashes at it, edges, and it's been dropped. And it'll race away for 4. What a let-off. Not just a let-off for the Sydney Sixers, but that is a let-off for my multi. Philippe, the outside edge. Oh, it's a gift at first slip. That should have been taken. It's gone through the hands and races away to the boundary. What a massive, massive let-off. And now this gone straight up in the air, and this will be caught. Well, there goes my multi. And that's an easy catch for mid-off. He got away with the last delivery, Philippi. And there goes my multi. And it's 1 for 19. Well, that was just rather silly from Josh Philippi. He had been handed a lifeline. And then he throws his wicket away the very next ball. And he has let me down. Hang on, do I get cash back for one leg failing? No, there's no cash back tonight for one leg failing. Well, Josh Philippi has just become my most hated player in the Big Bash League. What a goof. He was handed a lifeline on the previous delivery, and then he goes and throws his wicket away the very next ball. Honestly, can't stand him. He is officially my most hated player in the entire Big Bash. As Jack Edwards comes out now, 1 for 19. And, yeah, the Renegades on top. Rogers with 2 deliveries left. Edwards just pushes it away into the offside. Nicely played, controlled stroke. Racing to the boundary, but the Renegades are there in numbers. They converge on that ball, and it'll be 2 runs. Oh, Josh Philippi. Unbelievable. You let me down, mate. A big wicket. Rogers with his last ball. Nicely bowled. And just fended away for a dot ball. 1 for 22. 2 overs gone. I'm pretty sure. Well, the Renegades were none for 22, but it's an eye for an eye at the moment, almost, essentially. I'm pretty sure that the Renegades were none for 22 off their opening 2. The Sixers have got the 22, but they have lost the wicket thrown away by Josh Philippi to make himself my most hated player in the Big Bash League. Unbelievable. What a letdown. Devastating. Devastating that was. O'Neill back on for his second over. Just pushed down the leg side for a single. 147 off 107 deliveries. Vince could be the key now. Vince needs to play that foundation role that Seifert played for the Renegades if they're going to chase this down. And there is said man. Just pushing into the offside. Single. Smart play. Don't need to do anything crazy. Like Josh Philippi. Unbelievable. You missed Josh Philippi throwing his wicket away when I've got him in my multi. He was dropped at first slip. Well, first and only slip. But he was dropped at first slip. And then rather than using that gift to go on and build an innings and go, wow, I got a little bit lucky there. They dropped me. I'll go on and get a big score like normal people would do. No. Goofy Magoof goes, I'll have another big swing. Puts it straight up in the air to mid-off. And now that's a beautiful stroke from Edwards. Just guiding it through the offside gap for 4. Josh Philippi has cost me my multi. I officially hate him and the Sydney Sixers. I tipped him, but I hope they lose now. Come on, Renegades. I don't even care if this costs me a tip in the competition. It's still early days. Plenty of time to fight back. Edwards has started well, though. 8 or 4. And again, just guiding it into the offside for a single. $145 required off 105 balls. I mean, it can't be understated how big a wicket that was for the Renegades. Ball and just drifting on the legs a little bit. Chopped away from Edwards. Another single. 1 for 31 after 3. So they're well and truly competing with the run rate. The Renegades, of course, got off to a flyer when they were batting. The Sydney Sixers have matched them so far. How crucial will that wicket be, though? Throwing his wicket away, Josh Philippi. Throwing his wicket away and throwing my multi away. Oh, God, the thing's a bit behind, isn't it? The score summary. A wee bit behind. Was that John Howard in the crowd? Wow. Of all the things. Rogers drifting down leg side. Could be a wide. One for 32 here, the Sixers. Still, this game on a knife's edge. Nobody's really on top. And there's a gift for Rogers. Drifts onto the legs again. He got away with the first delivery, but Edwards makes no mistake this time. And he just glides it down. Glancing it away down the leg side for 4. .37 at the moment, the run rate. As always, of course, in T20 cricket, a couple of wickets or a couple of boundaries. And, well, there's the couple of boundaries. Rogers, this time, punches it through the offside gap. Very well timed, very well controlled. Back-to-back boundaries. That was very well played. 1 for 40. Back-to-back 4s after a wide. And this is a great start to the over. 9 runs from it so far, so They don't need to do anything outrageous. Here, the Sixers, like, throw their wicket away, like Josh Phillippe. Oh, God. Lofted over the top of the infield. Edwards is on fire. It's 3 boundaries in a row. One for 44. Edwards taking full control of this over. And Rogers has got no answers at the moment. A wide 4, 4, 4. And they've come in for a chat. Yes, well, it needed to be done. Rogers is getting absolutely tonked here. A wide, his first delivery. And then 4, 4, 4. 3 deliveries left in this over. And it's just been some quality controlled batting from Edwards. Oh, nearly chopped on from Edwards this time. Gets away with it. 1 for 44. The Sixers. 3.4 overs gone. Two deliveries left. And this will be a dot ball. Just punched to cover for no run. Trying to figure out here. Michelle, you can't remember who you tipped. Probably the Sydney Sixers. And a dot ball to finish for Rogers. So he tightened things up there in that over. After a wide 4, 4, 4, he finishes with 3 dot balls. So a good reply. Four overs gone, 1 for 44 for the Sydney Sixers. And the Renegades, to compare the two innings, oh my God, Hassan Khan does bowl spin. And he's punched away through the offside for 4 immediately by James Vince. Well, that is hilarious because I felt awkward when I was running through the team sheets earlier, and I said, I hate to be stereotypical here, but I'm assuming Hassan Khan is a spin bowler. And lo and behold, here he is. Some left arm spin. And he's gone for 4 with his first delivery. And now just tapped down the leg side for a single. The Sixers doing well at the moment in this run chase. Oh, yep. Adam Zampa still to come into the bowling attack as well. At some point, he's warming up there. Warming up down on the boundary. And he's starting to get his eye in now, Hassan Khan. It would appear. Oh, swing and a miss. Hits the pads. Going down leg side. The umpire completely unmoved. Not interested in the slightest bit. And Edwards with power and force straight down the ground for 4. That was nicely played. He just destroyed that ball. What a hit. And Hassan finishes the over. Do they steal a single there? Yes, they do. 10 runs from it. 5 overs gone. 1 for 54. And the Sixers are on track here. 121 off 92. We're back. Cool. Don't know what happened there. A little bit of a temporary outage. Still up and running. Zampa's come into the bowling attack. These could be the key overs. Slim Shady into the bowling attack. Zampa with 3 dot balls to start. Can he get a false stroke? Zampa just played away to long on for a single. Geeky Slim. Been a good over so far. Vince finds the gap just a single, though. Only 2 runs from it. Last delivery for Zampa. And again, just guided down to long on for a single. No risk really needed for the Sixers at the moment. They're in control of the run chase. The required run rate hovering around 8 and over. And the Sixers, of course, going above that right now. 1 for 55, or 1 for 56 now. Doing it well at the moment. There we go. A commercial for Australian Idol. I honestly didn't even know that was still a thing. I thought Australian Idol ended years ago. I mean, I stopped hearing about it, at least, years ago. Richardson into the bowling attack. Edwards and Vince are both pretty well set now. Edwards 25 off 19. Vince 26 off 12. 2 set batsmen. And Edwards Cuts it away for 4. That's a nice shot. I can understand why you loathe that ad, Michelle. It looks ridiculous. Oh, nice ball. In swinging ball. Catches Edwards. One for 61. And another dot ball. This is good bowling from Richardson. Just the boundary off the first ball. And he's kept it very tight since then. Oh, that's down the leg side. That'll be a wide. Wide ball. Just as I give him a wrap, he throws a big wide down the leg side. Good Lord, is it seriously 8:30 at night? Honestly, I have no concept of time anymore. This is ridiculous. That is a great shot, but well fielded. Harvey in the outfield, sliding across the turf with one arm to save a certain boundary. That was a beautiful shot from Edwards. And Harvey putting his body literally on the line. We've seen 2 injuries already in 2 games, and he's holding his chest and shaking off the arm after that one. But he has saved a dead set certain boundary. He saved 2 runs there in the end. They're just going through a controlled phase here, the Sydney Sixers. They've got themselves in a position where I am comfortable enough now to say that they're on top. They're on top of this run chase. A couple of quick wickets will obviously change that very quickly. Vence hits it hard to the offside. 9 off the over. Traveling along nicely here, the Sydney Sixers. Let's see. Let's get this. The scoreboard has found itself behind. Oh, off the field he goes. Well, we have seen another potential injury from diving in the outfield. He saved 2 runs, but he is now off the field getting looked at. Well, this is incredible. What's going on? All these injuries that we're seeing, or potential injuries. Harvey, who was diving in the outfield, made a big save, but is now off to get checked out. Zampa starts with a dot ball. And another from Adam Zampa. There we go. I think the scoreboard's caught up now. 1 for 66 here, the Sixers, but Zampa is starting to get very frustrating. They can't get him away. They just can't get him away. 2 runs off that delivery, though. That'll be frustrating for Slim Shady. 3 deliveries left. Nicely bowled again. It's another dot ball. Well, these are the key overs. Adam Zampa is the standout main bowler of this Renegades lineup. And he is well and truly doing his job at the moment. Vince goes after it on the offside, finds the gap. Will it go to the fence? No, it's fielded out there. They'll come back for 2. An important 2 runs in the context of the game here and in the context of who is bowling at the moment. Vince and Edwards both in the 30s. Last ball, Zampa drifts onto the legs. It'll just be a single. 5 off the over, 1 for 71. 99 off 72 required with 9 wickets left. That should be easily achievable for the Sixers. I don't want to jinx it, but it should be a relatively easy chase if they keep these wickets in hand. If they keep these wickets in hand. But they're doing it nicely at the moment, though. They've kept that required run rate just hovering around the 8 mark. You don't want to see that drift up towards 10. If they just keep it hovering around that 8 mark, I think they'll be pretty confident of seeing this through, the Sixers. Although Hassan gets a loopy chop down to long on from Vince. But just a single. And with 8.2, like, they don't have to do anything outrageous here. The Sixers, they can just control this, take 1s and 2s when they're on offer, as they're doing at the moment. Again, Edwards just guides this to the onside. Just by taking the 1s, you get your 6 runs and over. The odd 2 puts you up to 7 or 8. And you're just controlling that required run rate, keeping it around the 8 mark. It'll drift up to 9 at some point, I'm pretty certain. But they won't want it to go towards 10. Michelle did tip the Sixers. Yes, I would have thought so. DJ Shack says, around the grounds, Investec Champions Cup. I don't know how to pronounce that even. Cup Stud France. I don't know. Stop trying. Stop trying, Dan. You're buggering it up. Saracens, anyway, have leading 28-17. Or have won 28-17. How you feeling anyway, DJ Shack? Coming down with the COVID. Edwards backs away. Tries to put it into the stands, but it'll be 1 bouncing over the rope. And a crucial boundary for Edwards and the Sixers. It was a short ball just hanging there in mid-pitch. And Edwards doesn't need a second invitation for that. Puts it away. 7 off the over. 9 gone. 1 for 78 here. The Sixers controlling this nicely at the moment with their superior batting lineup. Apart from Josh Philippi. He sucks. I hate him. Son of a bitch, letting me down. .92 runs needed off 67 balls, 8.24, the required run rate. And as I said, that will just hover around that 8 mark. It'll drift out to 9 at some point, I'm sure. But the Sixers won't let that get out of control. They won't want to see that go above 9 and start to drift towards 10 at any point. But they're in a commanding position at the moment, I think, the Sixers. But a wicket will certainly change that. Richardson with a dot ball to start his second over. None for 9 so far. Richardson again. Oh, that's a nice little in-swinging movement off the pitch. A slight misfield has given them a second run. Oh, they won't be happy about that. A misfield gives them a second run. It should have only been one. Edwards and Vince both doing extremely well here. Vince on strike, 36 off 24. Edwards, 37 off 27. Pulls this one away from outside off stump. But just a single. Oh, there's a drinks break coming up. The entire stream's been a drinks break for me. Oh, God. Whoa! This is going to be caught. Well, Edwards has thrown it away. What a big breakthrough this is for the Renegades. They were well in control here, the Sixers. And Jack Edwards. Unbelievable. DJ Shack says, Dan, honest to God question. Can you get ejected in cricket? Look, it is possible. It's very, very difficult to do, though. So I'll have to look up the exact ruling. It is possible. It is, as you would expect, though, very, very difficult to do. But yeah, so I will need to find the exact rule, the exact laws surrounding that. It's not like rugby or soccer, no, but yeah, very, very rare actions, disciplinary actions, of course. Threatening or physically assaulting another player, umpire, or spectator. Acts of violence, using language or gestures that seriously offend or insult. And you don't get ejected from the game as well, but you can, if you bowl, because there's a warning for, you're only allowed so many deliveries over shoulder height. And if you essentially disobey that, if you bowl too many, then you are ejected from the bowling attack. You still remain on the field, you're just not allowed to bowl anymore. So it's very difficult to have it happen, basically, but it is possible. 2 for 81. That was a big wicket. That has just kept things interesting here. The Sydney Sixers, they were starting to get a cruise along. But that wicket just certainly puts this on a razor's edge again. This run chase and this whole situation. Once again, delicately poised. Oh, that whole scenario with what's a oh god, what have I done there? I may as well switch that off now anyway. The Maltese been done thanks to Josh Philippi. O'Neill back into the bowling attack, and Henriques charges him immediately and puts him over the fence for 6. Well, Henriques, I had him for 20 plus runs. It's only bloody Josh Philippi who's let me down. A 91 metre 6, hammering it over the offside. Nicely played. 88 runs off 60 balls. Well, it'll be less now. 82 runs. Is what they'll be needing. That required run rate still just hovering around the 8 mark. But yeah, unbelievable. Poor, what's-her-face? What's-her-face? Poor Isha. I think that's her name. Isha. What a storm in a teacup that whole thing is. I mean, honestly, there's an uproar over something that she jokingly said. Meanwhile, Ezra Mam gets away with near manslaughter. Anyway, Isha, whatever her name is, she's absolutely fantastic. I mean, she is genuinely fantastic. Storm in a teacup. That whole thing. Absolutely ridiculous. Leave her be, I say. Anyway, 2 for 91 here. The Sydney Sixers, as Vince just guides it down. Just the one. He goes to 40 off 27. The Renegades at the same time were 4 for 87. The Sixers 2 for 92, slightly on top. Vince is the key here at the moment. Henriques obviously will be important moving forward in this run chase, but at the moment they really need to remove James Vince. Swing and a miss, outside off. She shouldn't have even apologized, honestly. There was absolutely nothing wrong at all with what she said. But anyway, I understand why she did apologize. It's like, I'll just say I'm sorry, even though I'm not. Let's just get on with life. But yeah, she didn't even need to apologize. Absolutely ridiculous that it was even brought to attention, to be honest. I mean, I didn't hear it live. I wasn't watching. To me, honestly, there's nothing more boring than this test match has been. Boring test cricket is extremely boring, and I'm not part of it. So I didn't even hear it. I only found out about it because of the social media posts and all the attention that it gained. I'm like, what? Believable. It is unbelievable. Well, actually, I'm not really surprised. The TikTok stream, this stream right now on TikTok there's an alert right in front of me, and it's been there for about the last 20 or so minutes. There is a violation warning in front of me. This stream has been flagged in violation for bullying or harassment. Well, I suppose I have been pretty harsh on Josh Phillippe. You know what it is? That's Josh Phillippe's management. That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense now that I think about it. It's Josh Phillippe's management on the stream going, he can't say that about Josh. Vincent Spears Music, ahoy, mate. Vincent Spears Music, did you hear the answer to your question on the Waste of Water Sports League Lounge by any chance? The podcast the other week. When you popped in, I was in the middle of a topic, but as soon as I finished that topic, I went into your question that you submitted about had I ever been to a Sharks game. But I wasn't sure if you were still there by that point or not. Cut away for 4 here by Enriquez. And the Sixers move to 2 for 98. Sutherland this time drifts onto the legs. Guided down to the boundary rider for 1. And they've almost brought up the 100 now. 2 for 99. The Sixers. $71 or $51 is what they need. Vince on strike. Bowled! Clean bowled! Sutherland gets the breakthrough, and that is a huge wicket. That is a massive breakthrough. Advantage, Renegades. This game swings again. Clean bowled. $40 valuable runs from Vince. But that is a game changer right there. And the Renegades are now on top. Advantage Renegades. 71 needed from 50 balls. Still 7 wickets in hand. But that is a massive, massive breakthrough. Beautifully bowled there from Sutherland. LBW appeal as Sutherland almost bags himself 2 wickets in 2 balls. Oh, that's close. That is close. They might be regretting not reviewing this. That was very, very close. The Renegades, they've elected to not take the DRS review, but they might be regretting that decision. Silk just pats it down for no run. And what an over that was from Sutherland. His first over gets the big breakthrough. And that has just turned the advantage, in my opinion, slightly to the Renegades here in this run chase. Judge Judy. Nice. I'll tell you what I'll do, Vincent Spears Music. I will be talking about that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, because I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be talking about that very specifically in the Waste of Water Sports League Lounge this coming weekend. So I will credit to you for that topic on this weekend show. Hassan Khan back into the bowling attack. None for 17 off 2. But yes, as I was saying, Vincent Spears Music, did you catch my Sharks Live story? Last League Lounge live stream. As this one is scooped away for just a single. Oh, they've come back for 2. That's well run. Well run. 0, Tenor Wissacorn. Ahoy. Long time no see. I can give you a timestamp if you want, Vincent Spears Music, because it was an answer to your question that you asked. I'll try and give you a timestamp here without interrupting things too much, as Jordan Silk just lofts this one straight to the fielder. And that is a huge wicket. The Renegades are on top here. The Sydney Sixers are starting to throw this game away. Hassan Khan has just lofted this one up. And Jordan Silk, to Sutherland of all people, well, Will Sutherland has just come into this game. 4 for 104, and now that run rate required, I did say that it will drift out to 9 at some point, and it's almost there. They don't want it to get any closer to 10, though. The Sixers. And they have just suddenly made this very, very difficult for themselves. All right. Vincent Spears Music, if you're still there, mate. Let me go to the League Lounge. So if you go to the channel, Wasted Water Sports League Lounge, at the 50-minute mark of the video, I talk about Daniel Atkinson, if you're interested in that. But your question pops up around 36 minutes. Around 36 minutes into that video. Wasted Water Sports League Lounge. Inside edge from Davies. And it beats everybody. It's racing away towards the boundary, and that's a very, very critical 4. So, Wasted Water Sports League Lounge, I answered your specific question at 36 minutes, and I talked about Daniel Atkinson at 50 minutes. Cheers. Hassan in again, down the leg side. This will be called wide. Yes, it is. Wide called. 62 or 44 balls. That's the equation. Hassan in again, just guided down to long on for a single. Oh, this game is on a knife's edge. This is fantastic. 60 or 43. This will go right down to the wire. This is going right down to the wire, this one. Last ball of the over. Enriquez just backs away. Guides it to the offside for a single. That was a good over for both teams, really. Hard to gauge what's happening right now, in all honesty. I would say that slight advantage still to the Sydney Sixers, just based on their batting lineup, the depth and strength of their batting lineup. Still slight advantage to the home side. Sixers have won the last 8 matches versus the Renegades. The Renegades' last win versus the Sixers, February 15th, 2019. Well, there you go. It's all set up for a Sixers win. Historically. $59 or 41. 13 overs gone. Zampa back into the attack. They pretty much just need to see Zampa off at this point. None for 8 after 2.1. Enriquez charges him and just pushes it away for a single. If they can just see Zampa off without any more damage being done. They'll be all good. Four for 112. Zampa floats this one up. Davies just guides it away. Another single. Vincent Spears Music says, by the way, I burnt the hell out of my hand with hot oil. God, what were you doing? Well, cooking, I'm assuming. Enriquez backs away. Oh, they'll come back for a cheeky second here. The Sixers. They've bagged themselves a cheeky second run there. The second was never on. Oh, a toasted cheese sandwich. Nice. Yum. Yeah, you've gone and burnt yourself, eh? That's no good. Into the offside, into the gap. A beautiful off drive from Enriquez. Finds the boundary. And that is a big, big 4. Especially off Adam Zampa. Zampa's overs will be the critical ones for the Renegades. He is the standout bowler of the Renegades bowling attack. And he's gone for 9 off this over. Punched into the gap for 1. Do they come back for 2? They're pushing for 2. That's extremely well run. 10 off the over. And they're bringing that required run rate back down towards the 8 mark. Critically. That was some really solid batting there for the Sydney Sixers. Break in between this over. I'll be right back. Sydney Sixers, 4 for 121, 49 of 36. I mean, they've got to be slightly on top at the moment. They should cruise this in from here. I mean, theoretically speaking, easier said than done, though, isn't it? Easy for me to say, standing here. Sutherland. Glance down the leg side for 4. Beautiful shot from Davies. And a big boundary. Oh, yes, they're on top here. The Sixers now. They always had the stronger batting lineup. The Renegades did extremely well to take advantage of a perceived weakness in the Sixers' bowling attack. Sutherland wide outside off this time. Swing and a miss. Is it called a wide? It is. It's called a wide. Welcome back, XJC. $49 runs, or 44 runs off 35 balls. The equation. Six wickets in hand. Edge gone. Well, that's a big wicket for Sutherland again. The commentator's curse has struck. Literally just talking about how comfortable the Sixers are looking now. And Davies edges one through cleanly to the keeper. Huge wicket. Will Sutherland again has come up with the goods. And the Renegades are back. That's a huge wicket. No, I'm on Channel 7 antenna. The straight TV feeds. Hayden Kerr. Out to the crease. Oh, this game is so delicately poised. Sawdust out onto the crease now. Sutherland a little bit concerned about his footing. I think your YouTube might have frozen. I am having some small internet issues tonight, so it is possible that it froze and we are behind a little bit. So maybe everybody should just refresh the stream and see what happens. I've had a couple of unusual dropouts throughout the course of the night. Sutherland in again. Dot ball to start. XJC's got the theme song stuck in his head. Which is nice. Banger of a song, by the way. Just fended into the offside for no run. This is what wickets do, right? Wickets slow the run rate down. And it just brings the Renegades back into this game. That required run rate, just hanging around 8. Kerr charges down the pitch, no run. Literally better than Tupac, says XJC. Oh, that's a bit harsh, mate. Let's say, do we have to say Tupac? Let's go anybody else. Let's go better than Jay-Z. Chance of a run out. If it's a direct hit, he's gone. Oh, missing the stumps. And a let off there for the Sixers. That could have been the biggest of all turning points in this game. Yeah, let's go. Let's not go Tupac. Let's go Jay-Z or Drake or Beyonce or anybody else who's just really, really crap musically. Oh, I better be careful saying that about Beyonce. I don't want to get myself murdered. Enriquez was halfway out the pitch. He was gone with a direct hit. Rogers back into the bowling attack. Pulled away. Will it find the boundary? It does. Enriquez. Enriquez has taken full control here. Moves to 29 runs. And as long as he is at the crease, you would have to favour the Sixers. I like Melbourne. 39 runs until 39 runs until victory. Hang on. Pulled away again. 2 bounces to Harvey in the outfield. Hang on. I like Melbourne. I like Melbourne going for the Sydney Sixers. I would have thought with a name like I like Melbourne that you would be going for the Melbourne Renegades. Anyway, all good. I'm going for the Melbourne Sixers. Melbourne Sixers. I'll try that again. I'm going for the Sydney Sixers as well. So, Kerr pushes this to the offside. Just the 1 run. Speaking of the Melbourne Storm, my red hot tip, Melbourne Storm, I personally guarantee the Melbourne Storm will win the premiership in 2025. They'll beat the Panthers in the grand final. 5 for 133. 37 runs needed off 26 balls. Rogers with 2 deliveries left. Kerr goes for it. It's uppishly played. It finds the gap. And it lands safely in between the 2 fielders. Kerr's hurt himself here, by the looks of it. Just trying to shake off a cramp. Last ball of the over. Just down to long on for a single. 34 of 24. That's the equation here. With 4 overs remaining, 34 runs. They should walk this in, really, the Sixers. XJC says, so Dan, if you were to add any current player to the Sharks, who would you add? I will very quick. What I'm going to do, XJC, I'm going to take a photo of that so that I remember it, and I will credit you with this question on the Waste of Water Sports League Lounge podcast. When I do the podcast this weekend, I will talk about it in more depth. But to answer you very, very quickly, without any explanation, the first player that I'm picking on any team, if I'm starting a rugby league team, whether it be the Sharks or a brand new squad, the first player I'm going after is Dylan Edwards. That's who I'm building my team around. We've got a little injury stoppage here. And the power surge has been called here. The Sydney Sixers have called the power surge. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the inner circle. They are going for the glory here. This is the game. Right here, this power surge, the Sydney Sixers will get that equation in their advantage, or the Renegades are going to pick up a couple of crucial wickets. Josh Kerr is still... Josh Kerr. Who's Josh Kerr? That is somebody. Hayden Kerr is still down with cramp. I'm going to use this opportunity to have a quick break, and I'll be right back. Josh Kerr is definitely somebody. That is a name that I'm familiar with for some reason. Let's have a look. Josh Kerr is a British middle distance runner. All right. Might not be the Josh Kerr that I'm thinking of. But I did know that Josh Kerr is somebody. Oh, Josh Kerr is also an Australian surfer. Oh, and a rugby league player. There we go. Josh Kerr plays for the Dolphins. That's who I'd be thinking of. But anyway, Hayden Kerr is leaving the field, and Ben Dorshus will come out to the crease. XJC says, is it bad that I've got no clue what's happening right now, but I'm enjoying it? That's not bad at all. That actually makes me feel very good. It's a sport that you don't usually follow, that you openly admit you've got no idea what's happening with, but you're still having fun, and that's what it's all about here at the Waste of Water Sports. I like Melbourne says I'm wearing my Christmas hat. My Christmas hat is black, and it says "Bah Humbug" across the front of it. This is the second injury stoppage of the night, which is crazy. 536. All right, here we go. Power surge. Dorcius on strike. Swing and a miss. On ball one from Richardson. A big swing and a miss. A good start to the power surge bowling. Richardson in again. Play it away through the gap for four. This will race to the boundary for Dorcius. Oh, well saved in the outfield. Harvey has pulled off a miracle. Oh, you have to applaud that. No matter what team you go for, you've got to applaud fielding like that. Harvey has saved a couple of runs. Or did they come back for three? They did. He saved one run, but still, one run could be very crucial. By the end of this match, one run could be very critical. That gets Enriquez on strike. Enriquez is the key now for the Sydney Sixers. This is the big wicket. Richardson in, full. Played to the offside, but can't beat their field. Can't get it through the circle. No run. I like Melbourne says, wasted. Can you stream day 4 of Australia versus India? Well, it's just going to be raining all day, so. The stream would essentially be 8 hours of me just talking bollocks because there'll be no cricket. Over the top, slashed away from Enriquez. And that's for a critical for But yeah, here in Brisbane, rain is forecast for the next few days, so there's going to be very little cricket played, which is good because I put $100 on the draw. When the draw, before the test match started, the draw was paying $6.50. I threw $100 on it. The draw is probably now the favorite outcome. So, yeah, I did the smart thing knowing the weather predictions. I did the smart thing and threw down. Well, it looks like being the smart thing. You never know, right? Because the weather can change quicker than a T20 game. The 7-day weather forecast is not necessarily accurate by any stretch of the imagination. But it seems like a masterstroke and an easy $600 for me at this point in time. Last ball of the over for Richardson. 9 from it so far. And driven down the ground from Enriquez. Can't beat the field. It'll just be 1. But it should have been 4. 24 off 18. The Sixers, surely with 5 wickets in hand, are ahead. Surely. 3 overs remain. I was going to look at something. What was I going to look up? No, I haven't been watching it. I like Melbourne, to be honest. Oh, Adam Zampa. Now, this is the over. This is the over of the match. This is where either side will win this match. And Henriquez charges Zampa and puts him into the stands. And the Sydney Sixers have surely got it in the bag now. 18 runs off 17 balls. Zampa's been put into the stands on his first delivery. This was the over, the key over. Adam Zampa is the key for the Renegades bowling attack. 96 meters. Henriquez has just won the game, surely, for the Sydney Sixers now. But don't count out the real Slim Shady. Slim Shady could come back here. Tucked off the legs there from Henriquez, looking for 2. They're going to push hard for these runs, and they get 2. That is fantastic work. Henriquez is guiding them home. Ever reliable Moses Henriquez. And the Sixers have got this down to a run a ball. 16 off 16. They can just see Adam Zampa off now and have 2 overs left to finish the job. Cutaway for no run. Or did they take a run? They did. Oh, they stole a single there. Beautiful work again from the Sydney Sixers in between the wickets. Whitty, ahoy mate. Whitty says, do you think Strickland will take back the middleweight title of Duplessis? I honestly have no idea. Rick Grimes is our resident Western World of Sports UFC expert. Gone for it, and it should be taken. It's dropped. That is a big drop. Zampa tosses it up. Dorcius goes for it. And a leaping one-armed attempt is dropped. What a let-off there for the Sixers. 10 off the over so far. Down the pitch, Henriquez puts Zampa in the stands again. Well, we said it before a ball was bowled. This over from Adam Zampa was the game in the balance. It was going to be won or lost on this over. And the Sydney Sixers have won it. A 6 from Henriquez to bring up his 50 as well. And the Sixers are home now. Well and truly. 8 runs off 13 balls. It would take the most monumental of cock-ups from here to lose the game. No run off the final ball from Zampa. That's Adam Zampa done. 4 overs, none for 34. The Sixers, 5 for 162. They need 8 runs off the last 12 balls. And with plenty of wickets in hand, they should see this home very easily. Is that Larry Emder? He's still going. Will Sutherland back into the bowling attack, 2 for 10. Chaz, ahoy mate. Chaz G. Over there on the TikTok Live. Waste of World of Sports, of course. Bringing you all the NRL action. Super Rugby. Rugby Championships. Any World Cups. And now the Big Bash. Live on YouTube. Live on TikTok. Live on Facebook. Sutherland in. Half volley and Dorshus has put it in the stands. It was a half volley right in the swinging arc, and Ben Dorshus puts it in the grandstand. Back up into the second tier. 2 runs needed from 11 balls now, the Sydney Sixers. A 108 metres. It was a half volley right in the swinging arc, and I'm talking literally right in the swinging arc. It was a gift. Glenn McGrath would have put that in the stands if it was a test match against New Zealand anyway. And he was batting with Jason Gillespie. But I digress. 2 runs needed now from 11 balls. The Sixers. Swing and a miss outside off stump. A foot higher and it was out of the park, says Aaron, 888. That was a huge hit. That was a monster. Two runs to win, 10 balls remaining. Sutherland. Moving in now for his third delivery. Dorshus goes for it. Down the ground. Straight. 1 bounce. 2 bounces and over the fence. And the Sydney Sixers have won. 5 for 172. Plenty of balls to spare. Victory for the Sixers, and it's what we talked about, isn't it? The depth of their batting is what got them home. 5 wickets down, but you had Ben Dorshus, and Dorshus wasn't even meant to be in. It was only because the other fella, whatever his name is, left injured. Hayden Kerr had to leave injured. Ben Dorshus wasn't even supposed to be batting. The depth of the Sixers batting lineup is what got them home, and it's exactly what we talked about in the pre-game. The better batting lineup, questionable with the bowling, and hence the 169 that the Renegades were able to set, but the stronger batting lineup saw the Sixers just tonk that off fairly comfortably. I mean, 9 balls remaining is fairly comfortable for a T20 game, and that is victory. Oh, and that's a tick off the multi too. What's his face? Enriquez. Enriquez gives me a tick off the multi. Oi! Oh! Why is that not working? Oh, well, doesn't matter. Not to worry. Hang on, I'll try and fix it though. I know I literally just said not to worry, but I will try and fix it. Cricket. There we go. That's what I want. Cricket. And I want Beerstein number 2. Hey! There we go. Yes, Enriquez. We got the tick off the multi. And it was only great big goof Josh Philippe who let us down in the multi. Literally the only leg of the multi that was missed was Goofy Magoo, Josh Philippe, officially now my most hated player in the BBL. Oh, wait. David Warner's playing tomorrow. Okay, my second most hated player in the BBL. Josh Philippi costing me money. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, the Sydney Sixers have got the job done. Picking up victory here against the Renegades tomorrow. And I'll bring it up on this screen. I think tomorrow the Big Bash action continues. Oh, why is this so difficult to navigate? The KFC primary sponsor. Oh, the Strikers versus the Sydney Thunder. That's right. Yeah. Sydney Thunder, Adelaide Strikers coming up tomorrow. He's holding a KFC box. I just spilt my drink all over myself. The man of the match is holding a KFC box. Well, this is just ridiculousness. We were talking about how KFC is unaffordable these days because of inflation and everything. I mean, look at how expensive KFC is. They're giving away the KFC boxes as man of the match rewards. That's how expensive this crap is nowadays. Anyway, I digress. Waste to World of Sports, thank you so much for your company. Match number 2 of the Big Bash is in the books. I certainly hope that you've been enjoying the coverage as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. We'll be back tomorrow because I am having so much fun. Back tomorrow for the Sydney Thunder against the Adelaide Strikers. And we can cheer on David Warner getting a golden duck. I mean, wouldn't that just cap everything off so nicely? A golden duck for Davey Warner would be very nice. Victory here for the Sydney Sixers. The Perth Scorchers and the Sydney Sixers were my prediction for the teams to beat. And they've both got off to winning starts in their respective matches. Thank you so much for your company. Very much appreciated. As always, I'll catch you tomorrow here on the Waste of Water Sports coverage of BBL 14. And looking forward to my team, the Brisbane Heat, taking the field in a couple of days' time as well. That'll be interesting. That would be very interesting commentary, actually, that one. My team, the Brisbane Heat, I have no faith in them. Even though they won the competition last year, I have zero faith in their ability to do it again or even win a game. But we'll see. We'll see in a couple of days. Up next, though, Sydney Thunder versus the Adelaide Strikers. Thank you so much, as I said, for your company in this one. We will catch you tomorrow on the Waste of Water Sports. Until then, cheers.